Hey everybody, welcome back. So I've talked a lot over the past few webcasts about what to look for in a partner in terms of sexual compatibility, how to bring out your inner kinkster, and I've stressed the importance of communication. But over the past week and a half, I've had several people approach me privately for advice, which was nice, but they pointed out that I haven't really touched on something that they're all independently concerned about. They've all basically said, it's all well and good to be talking about how to have good sex if you're having a lot of it with a lot of people, but I'm already married and things just aren't that easy. And sadly, they're right. So today I'm going to be talking about married sex, how to make sex work within the confines of your relationship when life and time just seem to get away from you, how to get back in touch with the sexually adventurous people you were when you were dating, and how to hopefully avoid brewing resentment over changed or changing sexual priorities. I am sorry to say, but typically within the confines of a heterosexual monogamous relationship, it is typically the woman who loses interest in sex. There's a saying I ran across a few weeks ago. Women marry men hoping that they will change, and men marry women hoping that they won't. And if anecdotal evidence is anything to go on, one of the biggest issues with change is in regard to sex. Now, there certainly are women who are not getting enough sex from their men, don't get me wrong. But a majority of those who lose interest in sex after marriage are, in fact, women. There are virtually countless reasons for this, from hormonal changes, to emotional problems, to life getting in the way, and it even includes the people, men and women both, who never really liked sex, but did it anyway in order to land a partner, and now that they have, they feel they're under no obligation to put out anymore. Basically, the reasons are as different as the people who have them. But the fact is, lots of married couples struggle to keep their sex lives active and interesting. You do have quite a number of options, but for most people, only one or two of them are really going to work. I'll save the best stuff for last. Option number 1. You can open the relationship. I talked a little about this last week. Basically, that means you agree that one or both of you will be allowed to seek sexual fulfillment outside the relationship, almost always under a specific set of circumstances that you agree on. Like, on Tuesdays, when you have your soccer game, I'll go on a date with someone else. I'll be home by 9, I'll have my phone on me, and it will never be someone off of Craigslist. This option won't work for most people. In an ideal world, jealousy and low self-esteem and mistrust wouldn't exist, but we don't live in that world, and unless you are both very prepared for all the consequences of making this choice, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, if you've read some of the books that I recommended or others, and you have discussed it at great length, and you are both totally sure that this is the answer for you, then go ahead and attempt this as the solution to a lack of sex in your marriage. Until then, though, probably not the one for you. Option number 2. You can cheat. I don't recommend this as a first resort, and in fact generally don't recommend it at all since it kind of goes against the whole open and honest communication thing. But realistically, sometimes this is the best option for you in the long run. If you're a decent parent and spouse with a true connection to your partner and who loves your family, but for whatever reason you simply cannot get your significant other to have sex with you or go through any of the other steps for sexual resolution that I will provide, and all you're getting in return for being a good spouse and parent is frustration and resentment toward your partner, then maybe this option will end up being the right one for you and I say this without irony, for your family. Now, if you're a 20-something dude with no kids and you're only into your marriage for a few years, cheating just makes you an asshole. There's no for the family to consider, and starting over at 24 is a lot easier than starting over at 40 with 2 kids. Don't even think about using the option of cheating unless you truly cannot rekindle sexual compatibility and just as truly cannot safely get out of your marriage. Usually that's going to be because of children. If you do cheat, be discreet. Option number 3. You can try experimenting. Self-awareness of our own sexual predilections is often very elusive. Maybe you two simply haven't learned or admitted to yourselves and each other what it is you really want. Maybe you thought you've been putting the moves on all this time, and what she really wanted was something completely different than that. Chances are good, if you've been together long enough to be married, you know something about the other person's reactions and what they really mean. Do a little digging, read between the lines, and ask upfront questions. Have really in-depth discussions about it, and don't be afraid to hurt some feelings by being honest and saying what you want and why. Lots of women who have lost interest in sex know that their husbands haven't done the same, and they feel bad that there's not a meeting of the minds on it. Many of these conversations might end with the wife in tears, wondering what's wrong with her. But unless she actually takes steps to fix the situation, it's clearly not that big a deal. Be sensitive to the fact that your spouse is not being sexless to spite you, and that he or she really does want you to be happy, but may feel that he or she simply isn't able to provide that happiness and pleasure for you. So take the opportunity to try stuff you haven't tried before. Maybe what she really wants is to be tied down so she can't say no. Maybe he wants to be spanked and told he was a bad boy. Maybe you both just need to watch some porn together. Maybe even some really bad, funny porn. The women are not nearly as affected by visuals as men are in terms of sexual arousal. There are very few people who are able to not be at least a little turned on by watching relatively attractive people fuck. Option 4. You can suffer. A few people are able to convince themselves that they can get by with bi-yearly sex and a whole lot of masturbation. Maybe you're one of them. This runs the serious risk of sparking distance and a lot of resentment. So I don't typically recommend this either, but sometimes it is your best option. Option number 5. You can divorce. At first glance, it may seem trite to suggest you end a marriage over sex, but honestly, if you're looking to spend the rest of your life with one and only one person, that person should probably be somebody you're going to want to be with for the whole of your life. And if you're not fucking, the chances are good that at least one of you will stop wanting to be with the other one a long time before the end of your life. Option number 6. You can go to therapy. I would recommend this choice before anything that I said before, but not before the one I'm going to give after. Find a sex or couples therapist. I would suggest finding a therapist near you by using the Kink Aware Professionals list, which is produced by the National Coalition for Sexual Freedom. I don't recommend it because you're necessarily kinky or want to be, but since there is at least a small amount of vetting of these therapists, and these therapists have a broader array of possible solutions, the chances are better that you will find someone who is more apt to give you the better resolution to your problem. And also because you're slightly less likely to find that therapist who has that faux feminist take, whatever the woman wants is what you should do, which is neither fair nor helpful. And now, the best stuff. All the rest of that stuff I just said, while they're all viable options in certain situations, are not what I'd call good options for everyone. Truth is, chances are very good both of you want to have sex regularly, if not constantly. Most people, married or not, are interested in sex and enjoy sex with their partners. Keep that in mind. Here's what I recommend you try before you do any of the other stuff that I mentioned. Make a date night. Make it weekly, and make it a priority. Now, for those without children or with children out of the house, this is easier, but it is perfectly doable for those with kids too. So pick a night that is typically the least hectic of your nights of the week. Maybe it's Wednesday, just because it's the middle of the week and it's the most distant from the typically most hectic days. Maybe it's Friday, because your daughter has a boyfriend and they go out every Friday. Whatever the day, and make it the same day every week, clear several hours. It doesn't even need to be the whole night, but at least several hours for a date. This means dinner, going to a movie or out to a bar or reading in bed, and sex. Now certainly, you'll have real life intrude every once in a while. Illness, kid problems, business trips, whatever. Just don't invent reasons not to do this. Invent reasons to keep it up. Do whatever you need to do in order to have that time together. Because honestly, guys, sometimes all it takes is taking the time. Reconnect with the sexual identity of your partner. I promise the world will not fall apart while you spend a little time bonding with your mate. If you're one of the lucky ones in one of those relationships where you both really do want to have sex and time just got away from you, this will be easiest for you. Congratulations. If you're one half of a marriage and your other half simply isn't interested, this is a slightly longer road, but it starts with the first step of just investing time in one another. Letting your partner know that you're still interested, all by itself, can spark desires that have been allowed to cool. If you have a hesitant partner, start date nights without the expectation of sex. Use them as a chance to actually just date again. If you are the hesitant partner, make an effort to fuck, even if you don't think you want to. Buy some lube. You can get KY at any grocery store, so you don't even have to go to an adult bookstore to get it. And keep it handy in case there's not enough natural lubricant to get things started at the beginning. Use this as a chance to get your partner to do things that you know you like, because I promise at this point he's pretty willing to do just about anything. And even if you can't bring yourself to do that, even if sex really is a chore, do it anyway. This is commonly called a lube job, though more for the parallel of tuning up a car than, that bottle of KY on your nightstand. This is something that is important to your partner, someone who you love and want to be happy. As partners, we make sacrifices for our lovers all the time. We clean their dirty dishes because we know that they hate to do it. We pick up the kids from soccer practice because they have work to finish at home. We go to our in-laws' house when we would rather do just about anything else. If you're willing to compromise on lesser things, compromise on this. A report published in Women's Day says that even women who don't have sex very often enjoy sex when they do have it. It's just that first big step to actually getting it on that you need to get over. A date night is the perfect opportunity. A second note on this: mutual masturbation, hand jobs, and oral sex all count. It doesn't have to be intercourse to be sex or to be enjoyable. And trust me, ladies, most men will never turn down a blowjob. They won't even generally feel cheated out of real sex. So, married people, clear your calendars for one day next week. Go to a nice dinner, go watch a movie, or go see a band, or go for a walk, just the two of you. Then go home and fuck. Then do it the week after that, and the week after that. Hopefully, I've been able to help at least a couple married people or those in really long-term monogamous relationships see if they can't rekindle a little spark. Again, please don't try the first stuff that I mentioned unless you're at that point. If you've already tried date night, you've already tried therapy, you've already tried experimentation, you've already tried getting the kids out of the house, you've already tried it all and nothing's working, then look for those more extreme options. If you haven't tried those first steps, starting with a date night, don't even think about starting the other stuff first. As always, good luck and have fun.